Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an updated white foundation base routine. My white foundation routine was one of the first videos I ever filmed on my channel, and I've changed quite a few things in that routine, so I think it's about time that I gave you an updated version. Let's get into the video. The first step that I always do is to make sure I have a clean space and a clean body. Make sure that your hands are clean, make sure that your space is clean. I just take like a Clorox, wipe down my vanity, make sure I have clean beauty blenders, clean hands. Put contacts in before you start any makeup because you don't want to be putting contacts in with dirty hands. Also, if there's anything near your eye, you could risk putting it in your eye, like glitter or something, which could scratch your eyeball. I do also keep a glass of water on my vanity to wet my beauty blender, and that is one of my first steps, is to wet that, let that soak in, and then I place that on my vanity with a little tissue underneath it. Of course, the first step is to moisturize. I have been using this Vanicream Daily Facial Moisturizer. I have very sensitive skin. As you can see, I do have a couple of breakouts going on. I used to use the Cetaphil one, but it is really thick and oily. This one is obviously very liquidy and thin. That was a lot more than I typically use, but I am going to shave my eyebrows, so I do want to put a little bit more moisturizer. And I don't put foundation on my neck because I like that stark painted look, but if you do put foundation on your neck, obviously you should be moisturizing your neck as well. For shaving my eyebrows, I just use face razors. These are Ed Hardy ones I found at Ross. They just look like this. I know you can find them at Walmart as well. That's about like a week's worth of growth that I have right there. So I just make sure to go in and just shave it right off. And one of the best rules that I have learned is the 5-minute rule. You should be waiting 5 minutes in between moisturizer, primer, and foundation just to make sure that it is all soaked into your skin and settled before adding more product on top of it, because that can just make it move around and not stick quite as good. Alright, next step is primer. My favorite primer is this e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. It's the pink one. I used to use the green one in high school. I used the blue one. It made me break out really bad. So I just take 2 pumps for my whole face. Sometimes I can get away with just 1 pump as well. And I just make sure to evenly spread that on my face. I love the way that this primer feels, and I love the way that it smells as well. And I do feel like it just blurs out and fills my pores. But once again, I'm just going to wait 5 minutes and then we will start on the foundation. For foundation, I like to use this Dark Asteroid Pretty Ghostly Foundation and Lightening Potion. I used to use this LA Girl Pro Color Mixing Pigment in white. However, this gets really, really dry. I used to like it probably because it was one of the few white foundations on the market, so you kind of just had to take what you could get. And the only one I had tried before that was the Kat Von D one all the way back in 2015. I've never worn foundation daily until I started doing the white face again in like 2021, so I just assumed that that's how foundation looked and felt on your skin until this was sent to me in the Gothic Beauty box, and I tried it out for the first time and I was like, oh wait, that's how foundation is actually supposed to look and feel on your skin. And I completely fell in love, and I've never found anything that compares to it. Last time I checked, it was priced at $50, but they do have sales for like 50% off sometimes, so just keep your eye out. Also, in my last foundation video, I used a brush to apply and then went in with a beauty blender. I don't do that anymore, but I do feel like that is a very effective method. They do not have a concealer. I hope that one day they do decide to make a concealer because I feel like that would just be cherry on top. However, you do see this blemish. It does cover it fairly well in my opinion. And here's a super up close look on how that looks. I did wear a pimple patch all night last night, so that's why there's a little ring around it. For some reason, when I wear pimple patches, it just creates this ring around it all day until after I've washed my face. I did get my hands on the e.l.f. liquid bronzer and contour. If you're anywhere on the alternative makeup internet side of the world, this has gone viral because it is apparently the perfect taupe contour for super pale skin. Getting contour for pale skin is one of the biggest struggles ever because it always is orange. So I'm gonna test this out today. This is the shade Fair. Now I am testing this out on white foundation, so it might look a little bit crazy because it is just a super big contrast with the white foundation, but I'll keep you posted on how this looks with a foundation that matches my skin tone a little bit better. But I really do hope this holds up to the hype. I absolutely adore their camo blushes, and this is apparently the same formula as that, which those are very pigmented. So I'm gonna go ahead and just be extra cautious and just do one little dot. And I'm gonna use the back of my beauty blender to blend that out. Oh my gosh. Now because I'm blending over that blemish, it's starting to take away that pigment right there, but we'll fix that in a moment. Do you guys see that? I'm gonna go ahead and just keep adding pigment onto it. I do like a really harsh contour. Okay, the more pigment I add, it is a little bit orange. It's leaning a little orange. Just slightly though. Not nearly as bad as other contours I have tried. So I do have hopes that with my regular skin tone that this would be significantly better than any other contour that I have attempted. I do wish it was just a little bit more gray toned, but that obviously is not going to appeal to the masses, which is probably why they didn't want to make it as taupe as humanly possible. I just have a preference. I'm a goth, so of course I want a gray toned contour. However, I'm really not mad at this. It's a step in the right direction, especially for us fair-skinned girlies, or people, not just girlies, people in general. Obviously the formula is beautiful. It blends out easily. I had no doubts that the formula would be great, and of course that lives up to the hype. I am gonna go in with my monochrome stick blush because I'm addicted to how that looks. So the next step is to just blend out any creases that you have. So my eyelids I always blend out really well, and then my under eye. Set your face before powder. This is one of the biggest hacks I have learned in the past year. It makes the world of a difference. I just threw that, but I caught it like Spider-Man. This is the best setting spray I have ever used. I know that it is $35. It is 100,000,000% worth it. They do sell mini versions that are like $16 or $17. If you have the chance to get your hands on it, I do suggest at least trying it. Even if you just get the travel size, I love this stuff. Alright, next step is powder. This is the best white powder I have ever used. It is the Ben Nye Super White Professional Powder. This is 100% worth it. You get so much product in it. I have had this for years. I do just put it in like a powder container. This used to be an old Fit Me Maybelline one, and I just emptied it out and filled it up with this. But this is pretty affordable. I think it's $17, and like I said, it lasts years. So I'm just gonna take a little powder puff and apply that generously to my face. Alright, now that I'm done with that, I am just going to go in and set my face one more time with this One Size setting spray. And that is what the base looks like. I'm going to bring you guys in, of course, to show you how it looks on my skin. Skin texture is real. Your face will not look completely flat and completely perfect. Lighting is a huge factor in a lot of photos. People edit their photos to smooth their skin. Trust me when I say skin texture is real. So here's a look on how it looks on my skin in real life. You can see all that texture under my eyes and my fine lines under my eyes. You can see how that blemish is looking underneath all of that product and around my nose, which is my problem area. There we are. Rest of my makeup is on. This is what it looks like. I'm trying to give you like an up close version. I did accidentally smear my mascara under my eye right there, so it's a little funky right there. Just ignore that. But this is what it's looking like all together. But yeah, that's kind of my base routine. I'm gonna have all the products I use in the description box. I don't make any money off of those links, but if you do want to support me, just go ahead and like and subscribe and turn on the post notification bell so you never miss an upload. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. But I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.